All right. For the final time for a long time, me and Bryce talking to each other on a Sunday. The pod thoughts here. Liam's back. Wayne returns out of the depths of who knows where. Decided to come back. Happy to have him. Talking about the Super Bowl, the super bad halftime show. Yeah, just
Hell no.
Hold on. Y'all said
Party of one.
the halftime show was bad?
Yeah, no,
good, bad,
the
or
four of
bad?
us
Yeah, he
all
said
agree.
that. I didn't say that. I thought
No.
it was.
We're
thought it was
united
great.
front on this.
No, we're not.
No,
I, don't,
we
I,
are
don't,
not.
I, don't, I don't know who this
No,
we
we're
is.
not.
No.
We may be Stephen and his grandpa, but still.
My grandpa's dead.
I mean, it's
still
not.
fantastic.
It ain't. I don't think it's bad, but it ain't best ever either. But
All right, that's fair.
The only people who thought it was bad was Steven and some racist guy named Nick Adams.
Anderson .Paak was cool. 50 Cent looked like he was about to die if he was going to hang upside down for a little bit longer.
yeah, he can gain the whole dollar now.
Yeah.
I thought that was. I was like, damn, where they find Zion at? I thought that's why I had to look twice.
I didn't know 50 was going to be in it. That was interesting.
Shoot,
I
the
don't
way
think he did
50
either.
look, he looked like he know he's gonna be in it either. The way he was in, I said, "Ooh wee."
Yeah, I'll maybe say that he was probably the worst part of that halftime show.
Now I still liked him though. That size caught me out guard, but it was still cool.
Mary J. Blige was kind of bad. I didn't like that.
I thought
No.
Snoop was pretty good.
You're going to make me leave this damn podcast, Steven. You speaking that bullshit.
Ooh.
I mean, dude, they almost made Kendrick look bad, and I didn't know that was possible.
Can we move on for you piss me off even more?
All right, that's fair.
No, I want to
guys-
hear this.
You guys want to talk about
No.
the commercials or the actual game? I don't really care.
I didn't pay attention to a single commercial. I couldn't tell you one
Neither did I.
commercial. Outside of that Coinbase one, because it was
good.
yeah. That's the only one that I can tell you. I remember.
Hey, if you scan that QR code, they give you $15 in free Bitcoin.
Oh, really? I scanned it. I didn't actually go through the process. I just saw. It's like, oh, Coinbase, close it up.
All right, so I guess we should talk about the actual game now.
Yes, please.
All right. Well, the team that should have won.
Yes.
Odell Beckham cried.
Aaron Donald cried. Everybody cried.
Yeah. That's about all that happened, right, Bryce?
What's that? I lost you.
Oh, we were just saying, the team that should have won. Odell cried. Aaron Donald cried. And that was the game, right?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I thought Stafford was going to choke it for the longest time.
Yeah.
He looked like he wanted to lose that game for most of the second and third quarter.
And Nick, they tried to lose it by running the ball.
Yeah.
Where
was
were you
bad.
going with those runs? I mean, Trey Hendrickson and Hubbard had that just locked up the entire game.
I said this last week. I said if the Rams cannot run the ball, it's going to be interesting because clearly the Bengals were the far superior running offense. So
and they couldn't. They weren't even smart enough to put Joe Mixon in at the end of the game. Freaking
Diesel?
had P. Ryan out there on 4th and 1.
Diesel.
I mean, hey, I knew the Bengals was gonna lose the whole time. I at no point did I feel like, man, the Bengals about to win the Super Bowl. I didn't think that today. I didn't think that when they took the lead. I didn't think that when they beat the Chiefs. I didn't think they was gonna beat the Titans. I didn't think that at no point in history of my life did I ever think this Bengals team was gonna win the Super Bowl. Why? Because I looked at them and all through the AFC. Now, through this whole AFC, all of them have flaws. Every last team in the playoffs. Now, the Titans, fool's gold. The Chiefs didn't have no damn defense. The Bills, everybody love the Bills, but the Bills, I'm sorry, if you can't guard nobody for 13 seconds, then I have no faith in you. So They're out.
Preach.
The Raiders,
Preach.
they was up and down all year. So, and they had a lot going on. So I didn't believe in them either. So by default, in the Patriots, I mean, I was kind of high on them early on. I ain't gonna lie, but they wasn't all that. Not really. So the only team left with some consistency was the Bengals. Now in the NFC, where all the thugs at, they don't got them same problems. So I don't think the Bengals would have beat anybody coming out the NFC. I don't think they would have beat the 49ers. I don't think they would have beat obviously they didn't beat the Rams. I didn't think they would have beat who else? I can't even think. I don't think they would have beat Green Bay either. I don't think they would have beat either one of them teams. And I really wasn't super sold on Green Bay either. But pertaining to the game, we knew their line was going to be a problem. What they finished, 8 sacks? 7, 8? It might have been 9.
7. It was
7. Okay, so they finished with 7. So we knew that wasn't going to be a thing. And then you looking at their defense, okay, we know their offense. Yeah, we know Joe Burrow's cool. But then you got T. Higgins, and then you got Jamar Chase. Well, guess what? The Rams, they juiced on defense too, because you got a couple options. You can either put Jalen Ramsey on Jamar, one-on-one and do that. And guess what? You can double everybody else or vice versa. You can do that. And I'm sorry, Joe Mixon is not good enough to beat the Rams. He's cool. He all right, but he's not going to beat the Rams. So I'm looking at right. So outside of Joe Burrow, there's nothing that the Bengals do better than the Rams. Now, I thought the Rams would run the ball a little better, but nevertheless, I wasn't really surprised at all. At all. I wasn't surprised. I didn't think it was going to be like a blowout. I thought it'd be a decent game. I thought the score would be like maybe the spread would be like 6 or something like that. And then they beat them without OBJ, pretty much. So imagine if Odell had played the whole thing. It probably would have got out of hand for real. You see what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, he had 2 for 52 and a touchdown.
Right. So I'm not hating on the Bengals. I'm not saying they're a scrub team or frauds, but I'm that thing. I just didn't get too caught up in the Bengals winning because they got a quarterback. But what else did you have? Nothing that they had, which just made me believe that they was going to take it.
Yeah,
and people.
Not finished.
No, I'm just saying, like, people was like, I hate it. They did it with Patrick Mahomes too, but front of Joe Burrow next time, Brady next time. I'm like, y'all talking about Brady, but how y'all know he might not be Dan Marino? Because Marino was good this whole year. He went to it. Matter of fact, he went his second year and never went back. Never went back. So I mean, how we ain't looking at the next Marino, and that's cool. That's not a shot. But just because you're great don't mean you're going to the Super Bowl every year. That's not what that means. Yeah, you need a quarterback, but just because you got a good quarterback don't mean you just go to the Super Bowl every year. Y'all seen Peyton Manning in Indiana all them years. You know what I mean? Look at Drew Brees. People love Drew Brees. Hell, look at Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Look at
3
Russell
top
Wilson.
5 all time.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not like you just go to the Super Bowl all the time outside of Brady. Okay, he made it a lot, but there's a lot of stuff there, so we ain't gonna get into that. But yeah, that's my whole thing with the Bengals.
Yeah, I believe I picked the Bengals to win, but that offensive line scared me because if obviously their best player by far is Burrow. Well, you could say Jamar Chase, but I say Burrow is clearly the most important. And with them having a D+ quality offensive line, that was clearly going to be their biggest downfall. And if their offensive line couldn't hold up for anything, then clearly they weren't going to win this game. Something that also shocked me is didn't shock me, but it was kind of jarring how after Odell went out, how kind of for that little bit, the Rams passing game just struggled because it was literally Cooper Kupp and nobody else. I didn't expect them to.
They were starting Ben Skoranek.
I know
they have no depth.
I know he's a special teams guy. I mean, think about it. You lose Robert Woods, you lose Odell. That's your top 3 receivers. So obviously your 4th and 5th receivers aren't going to be that high quality. But I didn't expect their passing game to fall off that hard because they literally couldn't do anything. I mean, yeah, you have your boy Van Jefferson, but he's a downgrade from Odell. So I didn't expect.
He is definitely.
Yeah, I didn't expect their passing game to struggle that bad. It was kind of like they were force feeding Cooper Kupp towards the end. I mean, he
they didn't have a choice. That's your triple crown guy. So I mean, you ain't got nobody else, and He already threw a pick trying to get it to Van Jefferson. You really don't trust for the Super Bowl. You don't trust nobody else. So I would have spammed Odell. I would have spammed Cup too.
Yeah, I mean they were down their top two. They're down their top two tight ends too. They were starting Bryce and Hopkins most of the game.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just injuries just killed them, and they don't have a running game now. I will say they have to address this next year. I don't know what the cap situation is look like. Obviously, they don't have any draft picks, at least first round picks to go and get somebody. But yeah, they struggle. They gotta if the Bengals didn't have if they didn't have such a shit offensive line, then the Bengals could have honestly won that game.
Well, look, look. Somebody need to go try to find 50. He look like he big enough to block for Joe Burrow. So if he
needs somebody,
if they can't get a tackle, whether it be 50, the blind side, somebody, they got to get somebody out there for them. And I think that's where whatever money they got, I don't know what their situation is. I don't know who free agents.
They got a lot of free agents.
But you need to find the biggest people you can get. You need to find everybody at Piccadilly, Old Charlie's, Logan's, Sonic, McDonald's, any local buffet. You need to go anybody that's about $3.50 and up. Look in the SEC because all they do is play football and eat corn. That's what you get. That's what you need that's what you need for the Bengals line. So with your first round pick, if you got one, offensive tackle. Your second round pick, offensive tackle. Third, fourth, offensive tackle. Matter of fact, you know that wall Trump been talking about? That's what y'all need to build the wall. That's what y'all need to do for Cincinnati for Joe Burrow. Y'all need to build the wall.
He need to get Stan Van Gundy out there.
Do what?
They need to get Stan Van Gundy out there. Just build a fucking wall.
Yes, Stan Van Gundy, Enos Canner. He a free agent. Who everybody they ain't got nothing to do. You need to get somebody out there to project Joe Burrow because you got lucky. We thought he might have got hurt again today. He already got hurt. He already hurt his ACL last year. He did pretty good. He did damn good this year. Got to the Super Bowl. But this is not a sustainable thing for you to have a suspect offensive line. Okay, it's in life. It's three things you cannot skimp on. Okay, you cannot skimp on good hot dogs. You cannot skimp on good toilet paper. And you cannot skimp on a good offensive line. You cannot do that. Them three things you must pay top dollar for.
Why only three? There's so much more than three things that
the top three, what I'm saying. I mean, it's more than three, yeah. But the top
I don't know, Wayne. I agree with you. A good dog is a good dog, but I don't know if that cracks your top three.
Yeah,
that's at least top five though. That's at least.
What
top
are you
five.
replacing? What are you replacing though?
What am I replacing for? What?
No, what are you putting ahead of
if
hot dog? What are you putting ahead of a hot dog in your top three?
I'm not.
Was it like things Steven. You need to have like good of, or you can? Oh, you can't skimp out on.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like, you need like good shoes. I feel like that's more important. You can't just be like running through those things. No pun intended. Like that would go above a nice like crisp soubrette on a summer day. But
I don't know. I'm kind of on.
Steven, let me ask you something. Without getting too crazy, but getting too far off the rails, because we already getting there. We in there talking about toilet paper. But let me say you something, Steven. Have you ever wiped your ass with cheap toilet paper?
Oh, it's not fun at all.
Every day
it's
of
not
my
fun.
life, Wayne. That's why I didn't disagree with toilet paper.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you with toilet paper? So
yeah,
you talking about offensive line then? Oh,
no, I'm still talking about hot dogs, but no.
Because anybody that wipe their ass with cheap toilet paper know why that needs to be a top.
I did about 4 hours ago, Wayne. So I literally understand.
Yeah.
I've got like this half ply nonsense. I don't like. What does that do? Why do
ain't nothing worse than having toilet paper? You know what? Never mind. We ain't even gonna go there. I don't even know why I said that. Never mind. Y'all good? Go ahead.
He wiping his ass with Kleenex.
Dude, a piece of paper is thicker. Anyways, All right, Liam, you saw firsthand, he's a Titans fan, for those of you that don't know. You saw firsthand a defensive line dismantle Joe Shiesty. It worked for the Rams. It didn't work for the Titans. So what did the Rams do that your favorite team couldn't?
That's a good question.
They had a quarterback that is intelligent and is good at football. I think, they also had Cooper Kupp, and a kicker. But no, Matt Stafford is the reason at the end that they won the game. I'd say the refs helped him out a little too, but he made the throws at the end what mattered. That's why they traded for him. That's why they won the game. That's why we didn't beat them. It's because of Ryan Tannehill.
Rams have a more balanced offense than Tennessee does too.
Yeah, I'd argue that. I think fully healthy, we are a little more balanced, but I think it's overall quarterback play. You look at across the league, the teams that make it far are the ones with the good quarterbacks, and we don't have one.
That's okay. You get used to it.
Man, that was a good answer. I ain't gonna lie. That was a good answer. That was a good answer. I had something loaded up for the Titans. I've been digging into them all year, but
I've been digging into them for the past month as well. So
that's a good one. You off the hook. You off the hook.
I ain't gonna continue too much.
No, because I got a lot of roots in Tennessee and stuff. I'm there like all the time, so I've been seeing them and dealing with them all year. So I've been cutting off. And you seen me on social. You know how I was when they lost that day. I've been smacking them around all year, but I thought I was getting ready to had to get them boxing gloves out. But you know what? Liam, he seemed to be one of the educated ones. The other ones know now. The Nashville is up to speed about their football team, but it sounded like you was pretty objective with it, so you're good.
That's fair. We kind of touched on it. The Rams, for whatever reason, I get why they wanted to run the ball, but it's just at one point you have to realize that if you're Sean McVay, it was not going to happen. But he kept trying to force it to happen. Anybody have any kind of, speculation as to why? Or
you got to keep them honest.
Yeah,
you got to keep them honest. That's literally all it is. That's literally all it is.
You can only spam Cooper Kupp so many times before the defense gets used to it and you can't throw anymore. So you got to kind of, balance the run and pass game.
Yeah. I think it's really interesting that they ran the ball the entire game and they got down to the 5-yard line, the 1-yard line. They decided to throw the ball. They
try to sneak on first down.
Yeah. It worked, but I don't know why you don't rush Stafford, rush Akers 2-3 times, burn their timeouts. They would have gotten the end zone, I think.
Yeah, Cam Akers had 13 carries for 21 yards.
You see,
1.6 average.
You see, I don't feel like they were too worried about the Bengals having to use their timeouts to close the game, because clearly we all know on that last drive the Bengals were just going to pass the ball every play.
Yeah.
And clearly they don't have a good passing, or they don't have a good offensive line, period. So all you have to do is rush your 4 guys, and you're going to get there. And he's probably going to get at the most 2-3 seconds to pass the ball. So yeah, they weren't worried about the timeouts. They weren't worried about that at all.
Here's another thing why they had to run like that. And I really didn't have a problem with it at all. I actually like it. So let me ask y'all this: what happened if you eat about 4 gummy worms? The candy.
They start to get a little old after a couple.
All right. Now, if you eat about 500 of them, what do you think is going to happen?
Get sick.
Right. Exactly. And that's why they had to run the ball. Like, Matt Stafford's cool, and I thought they would get enough to win them the Super Bowl, but we still talking about Matt Stafford. We ain't talking about Peyton Manning or Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. We ain't talking about some all-time great quarterback. Now, I don't think he's as bad as what people say they are, but he ain't above, tricking the ball off. And the last thing you want to do is have him jacking the ball away or turning the ball over when you're down 2 of your better receivers. So you got to run the ball. So sometimes you got to take it out of his hands. I'm not saying he's like, he ain't Ryan Tannehill. Sorry, dog. But you got to have somebody. You got to take it out of his hands a little bit because that was the biggest thing on Matt Stafford. Oh, he gonna turn the ball over, interception. He gonna try to make a bad read. The moment too big. All the stuff they've been saying all year, and that's not true, but it's truth in it. So you got to give it to your running backs a lot sometimes, especially when you're down Robert and Odell. You had to now, and you may even break one. Because a couple things happen when you run the ball. Y'all know this. It eliminates the incomplete pass and it eliminates the interception, which limits you turning the ball over and also limits you making a bad read, which leads to the interception. So I think you had to run it. You had to. And you never know. You might just break one.
Yeah, I was kind of, I would say, I kind of got a fear when Stafford threw that pick just before this second half when the 2-minute warning hit.
Yeah, the first one.
I was like, please don't, because I'm a Matt Stafford guy. I've been rooting for him for a while, and to see when he threw that pick, I was like, this might come back and bite them. Good thing the Rams defense was able to get a stop, but man, it's like he's a gunslinger, and it's like when it works, you love it. But when it goes bad, it looks bad. And I almost thought he was.
What I was thinking about? Kid you not, and it could have been because of the halftime, but like that third quarter, I was sitting there thinking, all I could think about watching Matt Stafford because it looked like the Rams was losing control of the game. That's what it looked like. And I was looking at Matt Stafford, and I promise you, in my mind, I'm like, his palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms. I'm like, oh, Eminem done jinxed my boy. I'm like, oh, Lord. I'm like, man, I was thinking about that for a good 10 minutes. I'm like, man. But that could have been just me. But I swear that's what I was thinking about. But but they ain't gonna worry about him. So now we just got to get some heat off my boy Russ, and we'll be all right. So, but I don't think that's gonna happen because we love beating up on Russ. But, or at least I know somebody in this group do. I don't know. I can't speak for everybody, but I know one person in here like beating up on Russ. But Matt Stafford, he got a ring, so we ain't got to worry about nobody bothering him. I couldn't defend Cam Newton. I went down with that ship. So, but I don't think nobody gonna be bothering him no more because he ain't gonna be on the team. So if we can just get some heat off my boy Russ, we'll be good. Because it's Russ I trust over here, and Russ I trust.
Question: How many of you guys think that Aaron Donald's actually going to retire?
Nah, I don't.
I think there's a good chance he will.
I think he will.
Don't.
Even
How
when
long has he been playing?
Like
8
years.
years. He's like 30, 31 right now.
Yeah,
Who said he gonna retire?
he said that
He did.
He said
He
that
did.
before
He
the
said-
game. Yeah,
Yeah, he said if they win the
How
Super
long?
Bowl, they're winning, or he's going to retire.
he's thinking about it. He's only 30.
Yeah.
He turns 31 in May.
Hold on. He said cause I was with my little girl. I had my little girl and everything, so I ain't see a lot of I ain't see none of the pregame stuff. He said he gonna retire after this game,
Maybe.
If they win, he'd consider it.
and they won.
Mhm.
And after the game, during his interview, they asked him again if he's going to shoot it down like McVay did earlier in the week, and he didn't shut it down at all.
Yeah. He said I'm just in a moment. I think about it later. It's possible.
So there's still a good chance he's going to.
And they always say once you start thinking about it.
I mean, look at everything he's accomplished right now. He's won all the awards. He's got a Super Bowl now. He's made millions of dollars. What's left? He's got a Hall of Fame career and only 8 years into his career.
Yeah, I mean it could be one of those situations where, like you said, he has nothing else to play for, and he'd rather walk away too early than too late.
I mean, why not take your own career into your hands instead of, your body forcing you into retirement like Peyton Manning's did?
That's exactly what I was thinking of. You don't want to be like him. You don't.
Peyton
Or even
still had a
Andrew
good
Luck.
career though. Peyton still had a long career.
Yeah. But that.
But towards the end, with all the injuries.
Yeah, but I say
I mean,
last year was bad.
Yeah. I mean, it got him forced out of Indiana, but shoot, I mean, he did get another ring in Denver. But I see y'all's point though. You're not wrong at all.
Yeah, I feel
And
like
he's got a family now, and he's made millions
I
of
mean, because
dollars.
that's. I mean, I
set for
think
life.
I don't really. I wouldn't put that with Peyton, but I would absolutely put it with people like Andrew Luck or hell, a Luke Kuechly. You know what I mean? He retired super early. You know what I mean?
Terrell
But
Davis retired 7-8 years into his career.
yeah, so I mean,
Also after winning a Super Bowl.
y'all are right.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I mean, I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. But I mean, hey, I might change my answer. I'm gonna say I don't know. Because I didn't know about that before. I didn't know that was a thing at all. I didn't.
It was called. He's won Defensive Rookie of the Year, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. He's first team All Pro a bunch of times, and he's already won a Super Bowl, and he's probably the best defensive player of this century. So
by far.
So it's just like,
what else are you playing for? Just besides the fun of it.
Yeah.
Like, you've got all the accolades that people normally play 15 years to get. He's done it in 8 years.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, why not? I mean, unless you feel like you finna go back to back, but I mean, that don't happen a lot. So
this might be too early, but I don't think they're going back to back because
I don't either.
They have so many free agents who might get a decent amount of change. I don't see it happening.
I mean, you got to have an all-time great team to do something like that. And I know this Rams team's good, but I don't know if it's all-time great. You know what I mean? So you got to have like all-time. You got to have like a couple all-timers in a couple different spots. Yeah, you got Aaron Donald, so that's an all-timer there. But Odell, I wouldn't put all-timer with him. I wouldn't put it with really anybody else on the team besides him. Von Miller's cool, but he can only give you a couple games in spurts. They really got him 4 games like this, really. So, yeah, I wouldn't say they run it back. Hell, I don't know if they'll win the division next year, depending on what 49ers do.
No, the Cardinals got it next year, but, that's
they got their own problem.
That leads me into a question for you, Stephen. What do you think of this whole Kyler Murray reports from today?
Just the networks have like 8.5 hours of pregame stuff to talk about, and they can only talk about Matt Stafford and Clayton Kershaw playing Little League together for so long, so they just got to make up stuff about the desert. It's nothing we're not used to,
What do you mean, you're a Jets fan?
No, you just asked me about the Cardinals. So therefore it's a win.
I asked you about Kyler.
Yeah, Kyler's my quarterback. All right. So, this one I feel like it's pretty explanatory. The Rams won this game. It's not the Bengals lost to. Yeah.
Yeah. But far as Kyler, without just, I'm probably the only one that's going to say it. But, I say things, everybody look at me like I'm some kind of alien. Then some time goes on and, Wayne don't look so bad. But I ain't even going to lie to you. I would let Kyler Murray walk. I swear to God I would. I would let him walk. Now, that's going to put you in a hole. That's going to put you in a bad spot. But can you win with Kyler Murray? No. Can he stay healthy? No. So he's quick and he's flashy, but I think he's more flashy than he is good. And I've seen the Cardinals do 2 things. I've seen them go way up high and then finish way down low. That happened with Kyler Murray twice. And I don't think they're going to be good enough to get past the Rams because they're not going to blow it up. But I don't think they'll be good enough to get past them. I don't think they're going to be better than the 49ers. And who knows what Seattle's going to do, and not to mention the whole NFC as a unit. So do I think you can win something with Kyler Murray? Absolutely, I do not. I think it makes you cool to talk about for a little bit. But when we talk about Super Bowl teams and contenders and champions, Kyler Murray is not that guy. So if he want to do all this stuff and you bitching and whining and crying and complaining and talking about all this, when you got some of this to hold to, no, you got to go, cuz. So I will ride him out his rookie year, but I wouldn't re-sign him. I swear to God, I'll let him walk.
Now,
just like Deontay did, just like that.
Now, if you let Kyler walk, where are you looking? Like the draft or free agency? Because this team is pretty much, set up to win right now. So I'm not sure they want to wait a year or two for a rookie quarterback to develop.
I think you're gonna have to because Kyler was supposed to be your guy. Kyler's not gonna be the guy. I'm not saying that somebody you can make it. Well, I mean, hell, maybe you could trade him, maybe. You know what I mean? Somebody take that deal, but to me, you put your eggs on Kyler and you was wrong. And sometimes when you're wrong about something, you just gotta own that. They was wrong about Kyler, so they got to own that.
And you realize that too with Carson Wentz.
They got to own that too, because sometimes sometimes you just got to own it. Like some of these super teams, I think about more basketball with super teams. Sometimes you just got to own it instead of trying to trade and do all this stuff. Like y'all remember with Brooklyn, because that seemed to be the big one. You know what I mean? They thought, Kyrie and KD was about to dominate the league and win every game for the rest of mankind, but they haven't done that at all. Because look, they was hurt. They wasn't playing together. And then this whole quarantine thing happened and Kyrie's off and on. So what they do? Oh, this is not working. Let's try to get James Harden. Well, that didn't work like they thought it was going to do. And now look, now they got Ben Simmons and actually they got a lot, Steph Curry and Drummond. So now they had to do that whole thing. That's not working. Just like with LeBron and AD, people thought they was going to win the whole time. But outside of that bubble thing, the Lakers have been a bad basketball team. And now they talking about, well, they didn't do no trades. So at least they're kind of owning it. So I think when people try to do these splash moves, I think you just got to own it. Like just because you got a guy and that's not it. Sometimes you got to build it up and just try again. So yeah, I would play Kyler through his whole rookie contract. If he talking about a trade, I would. You fight for a guy like Aaron Rodgers. You fight for a guy like Russell Wilson, a Peyton Manning, or Patrick Mahomes. We've seen all these great quarterbacks. Okay, now is Kyler better than Lamar? I don't think he is. Is he better than Josh Allen? I don't think he is. Is he better than Joe Burrow? I don't think he is. Is he better than who else? I can't even think of my man right now. Shoot. God damn, Diesel. And you cooking too. But no, my point is, I don't think he's a top 5 young quarterback. I don't think he's top 6. And I can think of a lot of quarterbacks just in general that I would have over Kyler. That's why it wasn't sold on Kyler to begin with. Or the Cardinals for that matter. Even that's when they was undefeated, I wasn't singing nothing about it. I don't know how much of y'all follow my stuff at all, but through podcasts, TikToks, Instagrams, anything like that, y'all ain't never heard me mention a word about Arizona because I don't believe in them. So to answer your question, what do I do with Kyler? Not a damn thing. Let him walk.
Arizona was like a super hot and cold team throughout the whole regular season, and they really didn't get hot at the right time. They got demolished in the playoffs with injuries, with bad quarterback play from Kyler Murray. Cliff Kingsbury, I think, is probably part of the blame for that playoff loss too.
And I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with that at all, but just how Kyler came off. I remember reading the comments, but I just can't paraphrase him, but he made it seem like it's everybody except him. So, and I think Kyler got a hold of some of that too. So I'd let him walk. I really would. Now, again, that's probably gonna rub a lot of people the wrong way. Y'all actually kind of gave me something to talk about for real, but that's just where I'm with it. I would let him go.
Fair.
How you feel about that, Steven?
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna stay. He's cheap for now. Top 10 quarterback. Super Bowl is in our house next year, so what are you gonna do? All right.
Too bad Kyler's going to be at home watching it next year.
I don't know about that. History tends to repeat itself in last 2 home teams.
Yeah, after 55 years of a team not playing in their home stadium for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's the reason why they don't play them at the Ralph.
Oh,
it's really cold.
Or in New Jersey.
They played one in New Jersey.
When, like 1950? Back in the
You don't remember that was like 10 years ago?
No, I don't.
the Seahawks and Broncos?
Yeah,
Was that in New Jersey?
I was at MetLife.
not my FB
Oh, dang.
analyst.
All right.
Yeah, but this was definitely something. This really epitomizes the entire season and this whole program. Had a lot of fun. We're gonna take a little vacation now. Feel like we deserved it.
Basketball podcast coming back.
He's just waiting for it to end.
Who going on vacation? Ain't gonna be no wavelengths for